Hi guys, welcome to Classic Rock and Country Music Facts and Trivia. Appreciate you being here. Please, 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 before we get started, subscribe. Thank you. Today's video is on guitarist extraordinaire, Mr. Eddie Van Halen, who passed away back in 2020, which was a big shame. When I say guitarist extraordinaire, I'm not joking. This man could up and burn up the fretboard, man. Probably not the greatest, but he's up the top 10 that have made it anyway. I'm sure there's plenty out there that didn't make it and could outplay anybody. So, that is what it is. Take a look. He was a rock and roll music superstar with a heart of gold. He married one of the most well-known TV stars in history, Valerie Bertinelli, but he died in 2020 at only 65 from throat cancer. His name, Eddie Van Halen. According to The Guardian, the singer's death brought to a close one of the most colorful and lucrative sagas in American rock music. If Aerosmith was the premier U.S. hard rock band of the 70s, it was Van Halen who stepped into their shoes during the 80s. Formed around the Van Halen brothers, the guitarist Eddie and the drummer Alex, the band wrote a tidal wave of multi-platinum albums over a 15-year period. Few other acts have come close to matching their commercially combustible mixture of spectacular and addictive rock, flamboyant stage performances, and outside personal behavior. As The Guardian continued to report, the band sold more than 80 million albums worldwide. 11 of those studio albums reached the U.S. top 10, and 4 reached number 1 in 2012. Van Halen was ranked top of the Guitar World magazine's list of 100 greatest guitarists of all time. When Jan Van Halen brought his family over to Pasadena, California from the Netherlands in '62, Eddie once commented that they arrived with $50 and a piano. He can scarcely have imagined that the mayhem his offspring would wreak on the American pop culture. Jan was a freelance saxophonist and clarinetist who was versatile enough to find work in a number of musical styles, from crystal to big band. Though in California, he had to supplement his musical earnings by washing dishes. Meanwhile, his Indonesian-born wife, Eugenia, initially worked as a maid. Their sons, Eddie and Alex, both born in Amsterdam, had learned classical piano from the age of 6. But it was inevitable that finding themselves on the West Coast in the late 60s, they would be drawn to rock and roll. The thing that got me about Eddie Van Halen is he was always smiling, always. And that drew me in. Charisma, great musician. And Van Halen was a great band. David Lee Roth was singing his butt off. But Eddie, big smile on his face. Went to see him in concert once, and they were playing Jump. And actually, Sammy Hagar was with them at that time. And when it was time for the keyboards to play again, Eddie was running across the stage with a big smile on his face because he knew that the keyboards started playing before he got over there. Still a great concert. But I remember it. Please subscribe if you have not yet. Please share these out. Have a great day. God bless you, and I'll be praying for you.